Handy Hudsonite here. I'm going to show you how to look for issues in your tires. Now this is just meant to be a quick overview and a very simple observation that you can gain from looking at your tires. Of course, we want to make sure we get our tires inspected by professionals to catch any hidden issues that there might be, and I'm not claiming to help you have tires that are perfectly safe, but just as a disclaimer that this is just a quick way that we can check our tires on the go, and if we do see something in our observations that looks like a red flag, we want to make sure to get them to a professional so that they can be properly inspected. We're going to take a quick look at my tires on my Honda minivan, and these tires are nearly 3 years old, so they have some wear on it. I'm going to show you a couple of things about tires that you may or may not know. Okay, so what we have here is the tread. Now, of course, you have the sidewall of the tire, and the sidewall is one of the most vulnerable parts of the tire. And if you do parallel parking often, where you're rubbing up against curbs, you can actually see where we rubbed up against something here from looking at the dirt pattern. You want to make sure that you inspect your sidewall to make sure you're not seeing any sort of major abrasions or cracks. Now, like I mentioned, my tires are 2.5 years old, so there's some wear on it, of course, but there's not any major abrasions around the sidewall of the tire. Now, getting to the tread is something that can tell us a lot about what's going on, not only with the tire but with our suspension. And if you see uneven wear of your tread, let's say for example you see it worn very unevenly on the outside but not on the middle or the inside, that can have some indication that your suspension needs to be looked at. Same way if it were wearing more on the inner part of the tire, which is a little bit harder to see from this view since my tire's still on the car. If your tread is wearing quickly in the center, it could also indicate some aspects of suspension issues, but it could also indicate that your tire could be overinflated. And that's another aspect, is you want to make sure your tires are properly inflated, and the inflation information is on the sidewall of the tire, so you just want to look for it. On mine it's down here. Apologize, this is upside down, but you'll see that the inflation information there, you'll see it's in PSI, 44 pounds per square inch, or 300 kilopascals is the recommended maximum pressure of the tire. So here, looking at the tread, you've seen my trusty little penny here, and maybe you've heard that to properly see what the tread levels are, you want to make sure that Abe Lincoln's head is partially covered by your tread, and if you can fully see his head, then that's an indication that you probably are going to need new tires. And you can see here, maybe you can't see his head. I know this is kind of hard to see, but his head is still partially obscured by the tread, which means that we have enough tread currently, though in another 6 months to a year we're going to have to be thinking about getting new tires on our car. So these are just a few things that you can be looking for, and there are a lot of other ways that we can discern what's going on with our tires. Now obviously we want to check all 4 tires on our car, not just one, and I would check them even on a weekly basis if you can. And one of the most important things that you can do is just constantly making sure that they're properly inflated, because that's going to give you the best gas mileage, the best traction. It's going to help your tires wear properly. And of course, we want to make sure to be looking for the bigger issues. If you see any unusual protrusions or cuts in the tire, you want to get those into the shop immediately. So thanks for watching my video.